Some people can have multiple citizenships through being born in a country, marrying somebody, living in a country, or even investing in a country. I am entitled to have 2 passports because of my background. Hi, I'm Martin the Metalhead here. I hope you're keeping well. Today, it's time to tell a story that has been plaguing me for the last 2 years. It's all about this border crossing incident in Beit Bridge in South Africa. I have been to 110 countries in total. That's 6 countries as an Australian citizen and 104 countries as a British citizen. Back in 2022, I took a 1-month trip to Southern Africa. I entered the Republic of South Africa on my British passport. It was brand new, it had never been used before, and I was stamped in the country for 90 days. Because I'm entitled to stay in South Africa for 90 days. That's the trade and the agreements they have with the British passport holders, okay? South African citizens need a visa to come to the United Kingdom. So even though I don't require a visa to go to South Africa, it's grateful I can travel in Southern Africa without having to get visas, okay? But this one incident happened at the Beit Bridge border crossing with Zimbabwe and South Africa. I had been in the country for about, 3 weeks. Going in and out of South Africa, using the Lesotho border crossing, the Eswatini border crossing, and the Namibia border crossing. I'd also been to Botswana, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. I was going back to South Africa, okay? I go to passport control, and the woman there lies to me, saying, "You need a visa for South Africa." I said, "No, I don't. Look at my passport stamps. Look at what it says on the second page of my passport. It says I can stay in South Africa until this time in November this year." I had been in and out of the country. I had exited South Africa to go to Lesotho for 2 days, went back in the Sunny Pass. I had gone to Eswatini for the Reed Festival, came back in at a different border crossing. I just left South Africa to go to Namibia, Botswana, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. I was coming back so I could get my flight home in about 10 days' time. Fair enough. So stamps me in. But then all of a sudden, before getting on the bus, the police officer wants to pat everybody fucking down. This black police officer pats me down and just notices that I'm carrying a money belt. Okay? Travelers carry money belts to keep their money and their valuables safe. So this stupid police officer takes me into a room and says to me, "How much dollars do you have?" So I just laid out my US dollars. And as he was being a racist, retarded idiot, he said to me, "How much dollars are you going to give me?" And I said, "I'm not going to give you anything." So he finds my Australian passport and he starts asking me stupid questions. "Do you speak English? Were you born in Pretoria?" So he finds my Australian passport and he says, "Whose passport is this?" I said, "It's mine." And he gets absolutely shit at me because I have 2 passports. Because I am traveling as a British citizen even though I came out of my mother's uterus in Australia, okay? I'm entitled to carry 2 passports. So this guy is being a dipshit, a fuckwit, a retard, a cunt, whatever, okay? And it's really affecting my mental well-being because I've experienced this crap in other countries. Like in Senegal, I had to pay bribes to get into their shithole country, which years later I forgave them, and also happened in Kazakhstan. And so this police officer is demanding that I should go back to immigration and all, even though I've been stamped to the country. And then so I pull out my driver's license. I say, "I live in the United Kingdom, okay? I'm a United Kingdom resident. I'm entitled to have 2 passports. Why do I carry my Australian passport with me when I travel? Because what happens is something horrible happens to my family in Australia. My mother could die, my father could die, some tragedy could happen, and I need to go back to Australia. My Australian passport entitles me to come back to my country of birth. It also entitles me to travel to any 193 members of the United Nations. Same thing with the United Kingdom. Our passports do not have any restrictions, unlike some other countries in the world. Like Israelis cannot go to 25 nations in the world because of what's been happening in the last 75 years. So, this stupid black police officer was being racist and made a joke saying, "You're under arrest." They didn't arrest me or anything, they just allowed me to go back on the bus. But I wanted to give them a piece of my mind. I wanted to say all the nastiest things in the world to them. but I would not stoop down low and say racist things. Because years ago, a white South African woman was busted for using the K word at a police officer just because she got carjacked and she was criticizing the police. I wanted to complain to the police for, racial abuse, insultingness, stupidity, and also bribery, demanding money. I do not have to pay any money to enter South Africa. I do not require any visa requirements. I'm a tourist in South Africa. So I write to the South African Police Service. I complain to what had happened to me. But because they can't seem to contact my British number while I'm living in South Africa, I have to keep on sending forms back and forth. So one day, a South African police service wrote to me saying, I spoke with the stakeholders and warned them all to stop such actions. I'm really sorry that you couldn't have came back here and sorted out the person. I would have just said to him, look, it was a black person, he was in his 40s, he was being a retard, asking me stupid questions, and asking me if I speak English or saying if I was born in Pretoria. And this police officer was being a total dumbshit to me. So I did get an apology from the South African police, as this police officer was saying, we are so sorry for what you experienced. We need to crack down on corruption in Africa and all around the world, because this is really upsetting, this is really stupid, this is making people have bad experiences. Like, let's just say if you went to a country and you don't require any visa regulations and you have a powerful passport, and if the people just start demanding money, you just put your foot down and say, no, you are not getting any money out of me because I've not broken any laws, and you're being a dumbass. So stop being it. Because all these corrupt police officers in Africa, who, they go to bed with their passport stamps, they're like, I can't wait to see another Western tourist. Hopefully I'll get another $50 out of him. This will give me maybe some more electricity for the next month or so. Basically, mate, your job is to do your job, okay? You get paid by the state. If you're not getting paid enough, then maybe find a way to go live in the Western world, because you'd live a better life there. Anyway, I will return to South Africa. I'm not a banned person, even though I have made my complaints, forward, and I have cried racism over this incident. But you cannot stop me from carrying two passports, okay? This passport, the Australian passport, I'm not really fond of my country of birth. Customs officers in Australia have been pricks to me just for going abroad. But honest to God, I will use this passport to go to Afghanistan, China, Pakistan, and Tajikistan, because those countries give me visa-free access. I have to pay money to get into China. I have to pay money to get into Tajikistan. I can easily get into Afghanistan, Pakistan, visa-free, visa on arrival. But, okay, I got more ties to Britain now than Australia, but Australia is my country of birth. I'm entitled to have two passports. I'm going to travel the world. I'm not going to stop traveling, no matter how many corrupt cops in Africa and outside of Africa try to screw with me. This is Martin Metalhead. Stay strong. Over and out.